All right, Shalom. All right, so we're going to get started by facing the east. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadah. Let be giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew would be Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit who taught us his truth. Honor to the brethren that's laboring to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which will be 1/3 of the true Israelites, according to the scriptures, who will be the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, who are seeking their salvation by returning back to the Most High, so that he will have mercy on us and judgment. Hey, and Shalom to the brother Mayaka Allah, Shalom to daughter Yahweh, and Shalom to the brother Mashat, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Barak Adamna Yah. Hey, so we back in the Psalms of War. Hey, today we're gonna cover Psalms, the 3rd chapter, in heavy detail. Because again, Psalms about spreading peace, love. It's not a book of just poetry. It's heavy on prophecy, concerning the raising up of the elect and the downfall of our enemies. Hey, Psalms is really the art of war. So Psalms is heavy on the war talk, heavy on the hate speech. But it's all love for the elect. So yeah, the book of Psalms, really the whole Bible, was an effort to give us a defense. Wisdom is a defense, and to equip us in these times of trouble that we living in now, but more so what's coming, because it's heavy on the prophecy. So I'm just gonna read through Psalms the 3rd chapter real quick, then we gonna get into it with detail. And in the subheading, it reads, the security of God's protection. So a Psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I wait, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. So yeah, that could sound simple, to a Christian, to those of the world. There was a lot of hate prophecy in that. So now we're gonna get into it. All right. All right, so we're gonna come back to the book of Psalms, chapter 3, verse 1. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Yeah, because when Absalom, which was the son of David, the Lord pretty much split the household of David. So you had his son Absalom, who was trying to be king and take the throne for David. And, he was trying to kill David, so David was on the run. But David said, many are they that rise up against me. And we know the house of David being the elect today, we're going to suffer them same troubles. Because again, Psalms 3 and 1, Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. And the many that was rising up against David was his own son, Absalom, and those that was following him. So we come to the book of Matthew 10 and 36. A man's foes shall be they of his own household. So that's you coming into, some of your worst enemies gonna be those you live with. It ain't just Esau, but Esau is part of that many that's gonna rise up against us. Also, too, a man's foes shall be at his own household. So now we're gonna jump to the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51. Forgive me, my phone acting retarded. I'm gonna just have to flip through the pages. So we're gonna go to the book of Luke 12, chapter 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. And that vision gonna be right in our own household, which that division is already there now. Because who is that divider? Who is that sword? That's Yahweh Shah. That's his word. For shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. So Lord is giving an example. It might be 2 against 3, 3 against 2, or it might be you against your whole house. It may be 1 against 6, 1 against 7. Let's get the next one. The father shall be divided against the son. So yeah, in the case when David was running from Absalom, there was a division right there. Absalom versus David. Well, that's going to take place with the remnant of elect, who is the house of David that's being rebuilt. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father. The mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother. The mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And that's why the Lord said, they who love mother, father, children, brother, and sister more than me are not worthy of me. When that division take place, you're gonna have to close the casket on them, especially if they're not getting down with this word. So next we're gonna go to the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 12. And this is us breaking down the book of Psalms, the 3rd chapter. Because again, Psalms is not a book of just poetry with birds flying, something that you read on a picnic date. No, this is war talk and heavy on the prophecy. You can get all the prophecy in just the book of Psalms alone. So Mark 13 and 12. Now the brother shall betray the brother to the death. Because yeah, even when Absalom was trying to kill David, well, you had another division, because David had a son, Solomon, who the Lord was giving the throne to. Hey, you had brother against brother. Solomon got his brother killed. Now the brother shall betray the brother to the death, the father the son. The children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death. You should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So yeah, we're gonna be hated of all nations, including our own people. They have our own household. And they're gonna betray us to put us to death, because Judas Iscariot, he betrayed Yahweh Shah for 30 pieces of silver. Well, the day is coming that they of our own household, those who supposed to be closest to us, they gonna turn on us for 30 pieces of digital silver. That's CBDC. Let's believe Esau gonna start contacting your friends and family, trying to get the scoop on you. Where you be at? You know, what do you do from day to day? Do they know what we do? Where we hiding at? If we not here or there, where can they find us at? What's the best time that they can sneak up on us? You know, especially when our friends and family start getting persecuted because they got close ties to us. You know, when Esau put our name on the news, wanted posters, they may put known relatives and known associates, you know, with their names on it. Hey, many of our friends and family gonna be offended at that. So they gonna be making haste to betray us, to deliver us up, you know, for 30 pieces of digital silver. You know, because best believe Esau gonna give them a prize. And people do anything for free money. So yeah, many are they that rise up against me. And a man's foe should be there of his own household. So now, back to Luke 12 and 51. Luke 12:51. We're gonna hold that. And we also gonna jump to the book of Jeremiah 3 and 14. So yeah, man's foes will be dead of his own household. You know, David went through that. The house of David gonna go through that in this lifetime. But back to Luke 12 and 52. From henceforth there shall be 5 in one house, divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. Well, that divider is really Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah separating his sheep from the goats. Because again, you see 2 against 3 and 3 against 2. in that example there. But when we come to Jeremiah 3 and 14, it says, turn, O backsliding children. So there's gonna be those who turn back to Yahweh Shai and those who continue backsliding. It goes on to say, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you, one of a city, and two of a family. And I will bring you to Zion. But what we just get in Luke 12:52? For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. So what the Lord say? I take you 2 of a family, 1 of a city. So that division that's going to take place is the Lord really trying to get us away from those who mean us no good, so that he might what? That he may save us. And matter of fact, now we're going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 3. We're going to get verses 2 through 3. Then from there, we're going to jump to the book of Malachi. All right, Psalms 3, chapter 2 through 3. Many there are be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that in the NLT. Psalms chapter 3, verse 2. Psalm chapter 3, verse 2 in the NLT. So many are saying God will never rescue him. So that's how a lot of our people feel, that we ain't gonna get no help from the Most High. The Most High just don't stand by for the rest of forever. But see, they learned that from their wicked oppressors. So now we're gonna go to the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 14. All right, we're going to read this again real quick. Psalms chapter 3, verse 2. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. And that's going to be the same reason why many of the people, these nations, come up against us. Because they feel like the Most High ain't going to help us. Because what did verse 1 say? How are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. So they're going to rise up against the elect because they feel like really the Most High ain't going to help. The Most High is going to be on standby forever. But this is Malachi 3 and 14. This is concerning Israel. Ye have said it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, his law, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? So yeah, they say it's vanity to serve the Most High, meaning it's pointless. You know, what profit or what benefit if we repent? What profit or what benefit is it if we keep his law? But we know keeping the law also includes keeping prophecy. Dang. I'm gonna try to get this in the NLT real quick. If my phone act right. So this is Malachi 3 and 14 in the NLT. You have said, what's the use of serving God? What have we gained by obeying his commandments, or by trying to show the Lord of heaven's armies that we are sorry for our sins? So that's how the wicked of our people feel. What benefit do we have for repenting? What benefit do we have for serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai? And the people with that same mindset gonna be the very same people that come up against us. But they gonna feel like it's benefit in serving Esau, delivering up their brother and sister who may be of the elect to the death. You know, they gonna feel like there's no benefit serving the Most High, especially in these times of trouble. But they gonna feel like that 30 pieces of digital silver to turn on their fellow brother or sister, they gonna feel like that's worth it. But again, they say, what benefit is it to serve the Most High? You know, they really get that from their oppressor. So now we're gonna jump to the book of Job, chapter 21, verse 5. Because that's what Israel said, what we just read, but we're gonna get how the wicked feel. And we know this is concerning the wicked when we come to Job 21, verse 7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, and are mighty in power. But when we go down, I think verse 15, what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Because see, Esau the white man, they trust in their riches. They think they got all of this on their own, but don't know it was the Lord raising up the basis of men. So they feel like, what can the Lord do for me? I got this on my own, and that's how the wicked feel. Well, guess what? You know, the wicked of our people, they got the same mentality. You know, what benefit is it for me to pray to a spirit, somebody that we can't see? That's how the wicked of our people feel. So what? They're going to continue to serve their oppressor and turn on the remnant, the elect. Also, too, we're going to jump to the book of Ephesians, or we're going to go to the book of Psalms. Ephesians 6 and 16. All right, so we're going to go back to the book of Psalms 3 real quick. But thou, O Lord, verse 2. Many are they which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. There is no benefit. Serving the Most High is pointless. It's vanity. There's no reward to it. Hey, but we know that there is a reward. And what's that reward? Verse 3. But thou, O Lord, art my shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. So yeah, you know, many of the people will say, put on the armor of faith, the helmet of salvation, but they don't even know that armor that they claim to have is the word, but they don't even know the word. So yeah, the Lord is our shield and our defense. So when we come to the book of Ephesians 6 and 16, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So you just know a Christian in their wild imagination, they picture an invisible shield and they picture invisible fiery darts being shot at them. But we're gonna get what these darts of the wicked are. And which my phone acting up. But when it says that we may be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, dart is another word for arrow, like a bow and arrow. So put on the helmet of salvation, that we may be able to quench all the fiery arrows of the wicked. Now, what are those fiery arrows? It's stuff that take place in the real world, something that we can physically see. There's not no invisible fiery darts, no spiritual darts. So we're gonna get that real quick. All right, so now we're gonna jump to the book. Fiery darts. We're going to jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 64. Damn, I should have kept Ephesians so I could read that again real quick. All right, bear with me trying to hold 3 spots at once. Ephesians. All right, we're going to read this one more time before we continue. So we got Psalms chapter 3, verse 3. The Lord is our shield, our defender, lift up our head, etc. So Ephesians 6 and 16 again. Above all, taking the shield of faith, that's his word, the law, the word of prophecy, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. This ain't no invisible bow and arrow that a devil or that a demon is shooting at us. Now we gonna get the fiery darts of the wicked. So this is Psalms chapter 64. We're going to start at verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And that's here in the earth, beginning with Esau, Edom, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Now this is the point. This is one of the fiery darts of the wicked, who wet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So the fiery darts of the wicked, well, one example of that would be their bitter words. Because again, it says they wet their tongue like a sword. Wet means to sharpen. How do they sharpen their sword how do they sharpen their tongue like a sword? You know, they legislation, they laws, they policies is written to target us, because a weapon has to have a target. The secret counsel of the wicked is directed at us. Like when they say, you know, so-called Hispanic, Native, and African-American communities got to get the hokey pokey first. That was them wetting their tongue like a sword. And then again, the point They bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So back to Ephesians 6 and 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, that's his word with understanding, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So with this word, this wisdom, which is our defense, we can withstand when the wicked shoot at us they bitter words, they secret counsel, the things they imagine against us, that we can withstand it, not be moved or deceived by it. So back to Psalms chapter 3, we're going to read this again in verse 3. But thou, O Lord, art my shield. The shield for what? Doing bitter words. The things that they imagine to do against us. The secret counsel of the wicked. But thou, Lord, art a shield for me, my glory, and the lifter up of my head. All right? So we're going to get another example of the fiery darts of the wicked. So we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 5, verse 16. And this is all coming out the book of Psalms. So again, the book of Psalms is war talk. It's the art of war for the saints. All right, so I'm going to read this again, Ephesians 6 and 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts, the fiery arrows of wicked. For example, being bitter words that they shoot like arrows. So this is another fiery dart of the wicked that they will use to try to target and overtake the saints. So this is Ezekiel 5 and 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine. What's another word for arrow? A dart. What's the fiery dart of the wicked? In this example, it's the evil arrows of famine. Because even the famine is used to target, or is used as a war strategy against the enemy. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction. Yeah, because a weapon is for your destruction. War is for your destruction. Famine is a war strategy for our destruction that Esau going to utilize. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows or the evil fiery darts of famine, which shall be for their destruction, which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So ultimately, it's from the Most High. But he's going to lift up Esau to do that by cutting off the food supply. So back to Psalms 3. But thou, O Lord, art my shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. So the Most High being the shield is by this wisdom so that we can withstand the fiery darts, the fiery arrows of the wicked. It's not no invisible, spiritual, fiery arrows. First, it would be bitter words. And then it would be the evil arrows of famine. And then a fiery dart or a fiery arrow, that's literal in a sense too. Because a fiery arrow, a fiery dart, that's a nuclear missile, RPG, automatic weapons, gunfire. That's a literal fiery dart. And with this wisdom, we'll be able to quench the fiery darts. Nuclear missile. The Lord said, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So nuclear missiles, bullets, the evil arrows of famine, or bitter words. So yeah, the Most High is literally our shield, and that's by this wisdom. All right, so now I guess let's see what's going on here. Hey, Shalom. Bet. Ooh-wee. Hey, Shalom. Let me see who else in here. Hey, Shalom to my brother Kalab, brother from another mother. Hey, that's literal because we all got the same father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hey, Shalom to the sister Pam. Y'all about to Shabarakadah. We're going to get this in Psalms 38 and 19. Hey, from the book of Psalms. But my enemies. Book of Psalms tell you got enemies. Are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. We know the scriptures say, if the wicked are multiplied, it's so that they may fall by the sword. Let me see if I'm able to pull that up real quick. And damn. So again, Psalms 39 and 19 from the brother Mashak. But my enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. And that's why the Lord made our enemies strong, so that we had no choice but to depend on Him, to hope in Him. Because there's no hope nowhere else. Hey, that's why this last kingdom is referred to as a beast. There's no escaping it, but through Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And this is Proverbs 29 and 16. When the wicked are multiplied, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. So the wicked is multiplied, lively and strong, so we can see the Lord cut them down. We're gonna also get this from the brother Mashak. This is Psalms 38 and 20. They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. So yeah, we become the enemies of the world for telling them the truth. And we get rendered evil for the good that we do. And somehow Christians don't seem to understand that. If there's nothing but good coming your way, the Lord probably ain't dealing with you. And then that evil not gonna just come from our enemies, but they're of our own household. We trying to do what's pleasing for the Lord, for us and those that hear us. But the same people that we trying to save by the word, we're gonna be the main ones that come up against us and team up with Esau, for 30 pieces of CBDC. This one, our brother Mayaka Allah, Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both body and soul in hell. So yeah, hell is just a condition. So what? The Lord can kill you in this lifetime, and you will come back in a regeneration, what the world calls reincarnation, and you might be blind. You might be paralyzed. You may have no arms. And then we know those people, they got all kind of handicaps they got to be taken care of. They get all kind of abuse and mistreatment. Or the Lord could just bring you back as a baby, then you burn up in a house fire. So no, we don't fear them that can kill the body, because those that can kill the body, they only limited what they can do here in this lifetime. That's why the Lord said, be faithful in the death. Because just like the Lord can torment you in the next life, the Lord can reward you in your next life. That's why it's an emphasis on being faithful to death, which some of the body believers of the house of David, hey, they gonna shed this flesh. Just like a caterpillar, gotta shed that flesh to become a butterfly, and we're gonna have to shed this flesh to become as angels. Hey, rather the Lord pull these spirits out our body, or Esau kill us, separating our spirits from these bodies. And this is from Brother Mayaka Allah, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. So yeah, oppression make a wise man mad. But what? 2/3 of our people, they gonna continue to trust in oppression, but be mad at us, become enemies to us because we tell them the truth. And that's why the whole earth is in an uproar right now. Everybody's being oppressed, but everybody's trying to take matters into their own hands. The only solution is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah nuking this place. That's why I think the book of 2nd Ezra say oppression will not rise a second time. That oppression, being Esau, is trying to reestablish his dominance in the earth by microchipping everybody. This is from Brother Mayaka Allah, Ecclesiasticus 13 and 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his light. So yeah, when our own foes be of our own household, we know who they belong to anyway. They trust and they love their oppressor so much that they turn on their own family. So the Lord gonna punish them with Esau. Matter of fact, we're gonna get this real quick. In the book of Isaiah. And when it says that a man will cleave into his own light, That's really going into judgment. Hey, because the word, which is the separator, it's going to separate the sheep from the goats. No matter how wicked or how off you might have been in the spirit. If you are the elect, you're going to resort to your kind being the elect. And if you're wicked, you're going to continue to do wicked. Or even if you're coming into the truth, but you still ain't right, you're going to resort back to them old ways. Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined to them shall fall by the sword. So you're going to resort to your light. If you're wicked, you're going to eventually side with Esau. They're not going to side with the Lord or his true believers. And that's why the Lord said, bring me one of Caesar's coins. Matter of fact, let me just get it real quick. Brenda Caesar. Down. I don't know what is that from. I'm playing with it, bro. Damn, bro. I gotta be tripping. Damn. God damn, dude. 1 second. Brenda. I don't know why this damn phone be playing with me. So we're going to go to Mark 12 and 17. Going off the precept that the brother Mayaka Allah put, a man will resort, to his own kind. So Mark 12 and 17. We're going to start at 15. Shall we give or shall we not give? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said unto them, why tempt ye me? Bring me a penny that I may see it. What they was asking, is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar? And the Lord said, bring me a penny. And they brought it, and he said, for to them, who is this image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Yahweh said unto them, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar, and to the Most High the things that are God's. And they marveled at him. That's not just dealing with money. That's really going into judgment. Because if you side with Caesar, who is Esau, that's who you belong to. But the things that are the Most High's being what? His remnant, the elect. Render them to the Most High, which that's who the Most High coming for. So yeah, that ain't just dealing with money. All right, so now we're going to get Ecclesiastes 13 and 17. Will fellowship have the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? Yeah, can two walk together unless they agree? So that's why man's soul is going to be dead of his own household. They the wolf in sheep's clothing, but we actually the sheep of the Lord. We the sheep of the Lord, and they the goats. That's why everybody going around calling themselves the goat. Yeah, y'all really goats. Y'all not the Lord's sheep. Well, it's the younger generation to understand that. This Proverbs 8 and 17 from the brother Mayaka Allah. I love them that love me. Those that seek me early shall find me. So we seeking the Lord right now. And guess what? We found him. Now all we got to do is continue to endure. And then, we just got to continue to endure. Because see, everybody else will be trying to find the Lord when it's too late. That's why Isaiah 55 and 6, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. And how we know you can still call on the Lord? The books are still open. Lessons still going out. The blackout ain't happened yet. And this is Proverbs 8 and 18. Riches and honor are with me. Yeah, durable riches and righteousness. Yeah, and these riches, it would be this wisdom and understanding. Riches that last forever. That don't rust or corrupt, that thieves can't steal. And this is from the brother Mayaka Allah. This is John 19 and 15. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, should I crucify your king? The chief priest answered, we have no king but Caesar. That's the spirit. That's why the Lord told him about the penny the things that belong to Caesar, render to Caesar. If you side with Caesar, if you side with Esau, you believe he's your king, he your master. You trust and believe in him, that's who the Lord gonna render you to. Yeah, I can't stand Christians, bro. The C in Christians stand for crack. Them spiritual crackheads. This is from the brother Mashat, Psalms 91:4. He will cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. So yeah, we're gonna be covered with the Lord's wings. And that's why First Corinthians, that's why First Corinthians chapter 10, Paul said what? Moreover, brethren, I would not have ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea. So, our ancestors was covered by the feathers of the Lord, going into that chariot. So, yeah, and we got chariots over us right now. If we are the elect, it just ain't showed itself yet. But yeah, the Lord gonna literally be our shield and buckler. Right now, it's through wisdom, but it's gonna manifest into things that the world has never seen before, or things that the world has seen before, just not in this lifetime. This is from the brother Kalab. This is Ecclesiastes 15:28. Blessed see that shall be exercised in these things that practice his word. Exercise goes into practice. And he that led them up in his heart shall become wise. So yeah, led them up in his heart, meaning what? You store your treasures. Your heart being your mind. That's why your mind or your memory, that's why Esau called it the memory bank. Your memory bank is where you store your riches. Well, a regular bank is where you store your riches. But your memory bank is where you store the spiritual riches. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Verse 29. For if he do them, he shall be strong to all things, being able to what? Quench the fiery darts of the wicked. For the light of the Lord leadeth him. That's his understanding. Your path is lit, like on the GPS, when your route is highlighted. Who giveth wisdom to the godly? That's the elect. Blessed be the name of the Lord forever and ever. And shalom to the brother Ed Cooper, shalom to the brother Thahawan Blob, and shalom to the brother Angel Padilla. How about Shimmy outside Barakadam to y'all? I hate the water for the precepts. I hate the water for y'all for tuning in. So, back to the book of Psalms, chapter 3. We're going to get verses 4 through 5. Man, I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me cry out of his holy hill. I laid me down and slept. I await, for the Lord has sustained me. So yeah, David saying, he cried out. Even somebody mighty in the man of the Lord like David. And the day is coming, we're going to be crying out to the Lord. We cry out for small things right now, but the Lord going to simplify it. We're going to be crying out for survival. And see, everybody else will be trying to seek the Lord and cry out at the same time. But what did David say? I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me. Yeah. So if we are the house of David, the Lord is going to hear us. But what? If he hear us, that means somebody else cries, he's not going to hear. So that's all more benefit to serve the Lord. Because what did it say in verse 2 of Psalms 3? Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. So they think there's no help in God, but the same God that they claim is vanity and pointless to serve, there's no benefit. That's going to be the same God that they're going to be crying out to. Guess what? The Lord not going to hear them. So if we're going to go to the book of Psalms chapter 34, we're going to get verse 5. Yeah, because the Lord only going to hear the cry of the righteous. Psalms 34 and 5. So we're going to get Psalms 34. Psalms 34. And 15. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. Doing evil ain't just killing and robbing. Evil can simply be something as simple as your way of thinking. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. That they receive the love of they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. But look, but the Lord sent them a strong delusion, and that's what they believed in. So just believing in modern day Christianity, believing in everything except the true doctrine, that would be doing evil. Verse 17, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. Because you know it's going to be a time of trouble such as never was. You know the book of Job say, the Lord will deliver us in 6 troubles. Ain't a 7th trouble, ain't no evil will touch us. So the Lord going to deliver us out of all our troubles. The fiery darts of the wicked, being they bitter words, the evil arrows of famine, or even a literal fiery dart, a missile, a rocket launcher, automatic weapons, shotguns, flamethrowers, etc. The amount of things you're going to be delivered from. But it said that the righteous, that their cry would be heard. So I guess, since I brought it up, I might as well go into it. We're going to go to the book of 2 Thessalonians 2. We'll start at verse 9, I think. Verse 10. With all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. What it tells you, that the people who are deceived is because really they unrighteous. Therefore they're going to perish in that unrighteousness. Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So everybody else is doomed. They're destined for destruction who don't believe the truth, but they believe in something else. And there's no such thing as, how can I put it? You got to believe in the whole truth. The scriptures say, one piece of leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So if you got part of the truth, but it's one thing you got off, that's going to throw off everything else. Yeah, it's going to throw off everything else. So if you got one piece of leaven in the truth that you believe in, you're damned. You're gonna be destined for destruction. And so what? The Lord's going to hear those that came back to this righteousness, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, so now we're going to go back to the book of Psalms. And this would be pretty much the benefit of serving the Lord. Because again, Psalms 3 and verse 2, well, verse 1, David said, you know, there'll be many that rise up against me. Verse 2, that many that rise up against David, you know, they believe the Lord ain't going to help David. Well, the house of David today, you know, people going to feel like we not going to be helped. Therefore, they're going to rise up against us. But once they see the security that we got from the Lord, it's going to be like, damn. I cried unto the Lord with my voice. He heard me out of his holy hill. We're crying out to the Lord right now through these lessons. And even the believers that listen, you're crying out to the Lord. That's the tears running down our face day and night. The sacrifices, the ways of the world we put off, fasting, that's crying out to the Lord. It begins now. It don't begin in your time of trouble. And that's why we're known as the house of mourning. All right, verse 4. Bam. I laid me down and slept. That goes into having quietness or rest in the day of trouble when everybody else is being troubled. I lay me down and slept. I awake, for the Lord has sustained me. So yeah, the Lord gonna sustain us, delivering us out of all these troubles. So we're gonna go now to the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Yeah, why? Because the righteous are going to cry out, and the righteous are going to be sustained. Therefore, that righteous is not going to be moved. Back to Psalms 1, that righteous going to be like a tree that's planted by the rivers of water, which we know those some of the biggest, strongest trees. And that tree can't be moved. And the righteous, the elect, we're not going to be moved by the fiery darts of the wicked, because the Lord is our shield. And yeah, so the Lord is going to sustain us. So we're going to go to the Blue Letter Bible on that. Lord willing, my phone act right. We're going to go to that word sustain. So yeah, we're going to cast all our burdens on the Lord. We're not going to try to solve our own problems. We're not going to carry our burdens. We just going to put them on the Lord. That's why we're going to cry out to the Lord. Sustain, it reads to sustain, to support, or to nourish. And this word sustain, when I look it up, it reads to strengthen or support physically or mentally. How would the Lord strengthen or support us physically? By giving us food, by giving us a physical protection from the sword, from the pestilence, from the famine. Again, to strengthen and support, not only physically, but mentally. How's the Lord going to support and strengthen us mentally? It's through this word. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our times. This word will sustain us and will be the strength of our salvation. So this understanding, well, what? It will strengthen our faith by strengthening us mentally by this understanding. I said that right. Back to this word sustain. We're going to get this word. We're going to get this word maintain, to keep in good condition. Yeah, so the Lord going to keep us in good condition. He's going to put us in the fire, but he's not going to leave us in the fire to melt like everybody else. The fire being the furnace of affliction. We're going to go through the famine, through the sword, through the pestilence. But what? The Lord's going to keep us in good condition because he's going to sustain us. You know, just as David was sustained, you know, when he was running from Saul, through all his battles, when he sat on the throne, when the days come where one of his sons will take the throne, he was running from Absalom, which that's when Psalm 3 was written. David was sustained even then. And this word nourish, which is literal, the Lord will nourish us in the famine. He said, my servants shall eat and drink. Everybody else gonna be hungry and thirsty. And they're going to die from that hunger and that thirst. But the Lord will also nourish us in the spirit. All right, so now we're going to go back to the book of Psalms, chapter 3. We're going to get verses 6 through 7. Let me see what's going on. Hey, shalom to that brother. How is I? Y'all about to shop rocket bounty. We're gonna go back to the book of Psalms, chapter 3. We're gonna get verses 6 through 7. I would not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. So yeah, you know, the top of the verse, David was talking about, you know, running from Absalom and those that was joined to Absalom to take out David. Down to David talking about being delivered from the ungodly. So yeah, man's foe is gonna be they of our own household, and you see David change to the teeth of the ungodly. That's going into the beast. So yeah, whether it be they of our own household or rather it be the wicked, the beast, the Lord gonna smite our enemies. That's what Psalms 3 was about. You know, the Lord protecting David from the foes of his own household, his own kinsmen, and that protection extending to the wicked. That David will be protected from the wicked, you know, and that's speaking for the elect, the house of David here in this time. Be protected from our household and from the wicked and everything in between. So I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. So we gonna go in on that. But right after David said that, he goes on to say, "Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly." Now, where else in the scriptures do it talk about teeth? Well, in the book of Daniel, it talk about the four beasts. So when we go to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 17, where it says the Lord has broken the teeth of the ungodly. Well, those are the tens of thousands who David is talking about in verse 6. Read it one more time. "I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheek. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly." So this is Daniel 7 and 17. "These great beasts, which are four kings," meaning kingdoms, "which shall rise out of the earth." So the beast represents different kingdoms. Now, if you're going to talk about the fourth beast would be the kingdom that would be in power during the last days before the return of Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus. And that fourth beast will pretty much be NATO, America, the European Union, Israel, everybody that's allied with America. So this is verse 7. "After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns." So yeah, the focus there is that it had iron teeth. The iron teeth goes into the military or into the weaponry of this kingdom that would be in power before the return of Yahushua. So that's why David said, "I will not be afraid of tens of thousands. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly." They teeth being their militaries and being their weaponry, which the book of Job speaks about the iron weapon. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Job 20 and 24, "He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through." You know, that's going into the nuclear missiles. So back to Daniel 7 and 7, when it says this fourth beast had great iron teeth, that goes into his weaponry. You know, the iron weapon, being the nuclear missiles, being their firearms, they battle tanks, they jet fighters, everything they built up. And we're going to go a little bit more on that. So I believe next we're going to hit the book of Revelation 13 and 4. Because again, it said this beast had iron teeth, and they were exceedingly strong and dreadful. That's going into his militaries. How y'all doing? So this is Revelation 13 and 4. "And they worship the dragon, which is that fourth beast, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, Who was like unto the beast, who was able to make war with him?" And why is it saying who was able to make war with the beast? Because what did it say in Daniel 7 and 7? That the fourth beast was exceedingly strong and dreadful. And it spoke about the iron teeth. The iron teeth going into his military, into his weaponry, which is exceedingly strong. Therefore, the people of the earth say who was able to make war with it. And then you got America, who is allied with like 33 or 32, maybe 34 now, European countries. And they got what? They got Article 5. You attack one, you attack all of us. So that's why most of the world is like, hey, who was able to make war with the beast? You know, they're exceedingly strong with a vast military. All right. So back to the point. So that we know now when we see David says, I would not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. And it says that the Most High has broke the teeth of the ungodly. That goes into the fourth beast in a vast military. All right, so now we're going to go to the book of Luke 21 and 20. In Psalms chapter 3, it's about the house of David having protection from their own household and everything leading up to the wicked. So this is Luke 21 and 20. We're going to get this in the NLT. Because remember, David said he would not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that's around him. Luke 21 and 20. How's the house of David going to be surrounded today? When you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is not. Back to Psalms 3 and 6. I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Well, let's read this in the NLT. Because round about, that means to surround. So this is Luke 21 and 20 in the NLT. When you shall see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. Not the ancient city of Jerusalem, but the people of Jerusalem. The house of David, right here in America. We're going to be surrounded by armies. Surrounded by tens of thousands of people. Then you will know that the time of his destruction has arrived. But David said what? I would not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that has set themselves against me round about. It goes on to say, save me, O Lord, for thou hast smitten all my enemies. So yeah, those, the great beasts, NATO, Europe, the United Nations, the FEMA troops, the military police, the UN soldiers, the illegal immigrants that be given a badge, even those of our own family that side with Esau, that surround us about, we're not going to be afraid of them. But guess what? The Lord going to smite and put down all of them. And also too, because what are they surrounding us for? What is David being surrounded for here? What is the house of David going to be surrounded for in this lifetime? Well, when we get Revelation 12 and 17 in the dragon, which is that fourth beast, which the rest of the world would be in his mindset, who can make war with the beast, who is exceedingly strong and dreadful. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Let's keep the commandments of Yahweh and the testimony of Yahweh Shai. So Jerusalem is going to be surrounded by armies. The house of David is going to be surrounded by tens of thousands of people. Everybody that's part of that beast, that dragon, which Esau going to recruit all the people that he can recruit to surround us. You know, those of us who got the testimony. To do what? To cut us off. To make war. Which that war has already started. But it's going to manifest into the enemy coming in like a flood. Because we know when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord going to lift up a standard against us. Going to lift up a standard against them. Matter of fact, let's just get that real quick. We're going to get the book of Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, when the fourth beast, that dragon, surround Jerusalem, the people of Jerusalem with armies, when the house of David, the elect, is surrounded by tens of thousands of people, troops, killer drones, mechanical robots, killer robots, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Now, we're going to go into this word, shall lift up a standard. So when it says the Lord shall lift up a standard, meaning he's going to allow us to flee. He's going to allow us to escape. Certain brothers might take flight, physically fly off through spiritual power. some brothers gonna be able to disappear and cloak everybody around them. It says to put the flight. So we're gonna put the tens of thousands of people to flight. And some people gonna be able to hide, some gonna disappear. Hey, it's gonna be case by case for the house of David, the elect. But the end result of the Lord lifting up that standard when Jerusalem, the house of David, is surrounded by tens of thousands of the army of the beast, we're gonna be able to escape. We're gonna be able to get to the next point. The Lord gonna lift us up a standard so we can get from point A to point B, from point B to point C. It's gonna be standards getting lifted continuously. You know, that we may withstand the fiery darts of the wicked, the evil arrows of famine. A literal fiery arrow, being a missile, being firepower, even a bit of words. All right, so we're gonna read Psalms 3 and 7 again. We're gonna start at verse 6, but we're gonna also jump to Psalms 91 after that, because we're gonna get the result of the Lord lifting up that standard. Of course, it's gonna be us being delivered from various troubles. But what does that say for our enemies that surround us in the first place, that come up against us in the first place? So again, I would not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies. So David says, save me, O Lord, for thou hast smitten all my enemies. So the Lord's going to save us by putting down our enemies. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. You know, that's going to the fourth beast with the iron teeth, being them iron weapons, ranging from a nuclear missile to a jet fighter to a tank to a mechanical dog. So yeah, we're gonna be surrounded by tens of thousands of people. We're not gonna be afraid, and because the Lord's gonna save us by smiting or putting down all of our enemies. You know, by lifting up that standard. That's why Psalms 91 and 7 reads, 1,000 shall fall at thy side. How they gonna fall? By the hand of the Lord. And 10,000 by thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So everybody to the left, to the right, thousands and tens of thousands gonna fall around about us. You know, but that evil not gonna touch us. Why? Because the Lord is our shield and our buckler. The Lord is gonna put down tens of thousands and millions of people, billions of people for his elect to save us. So we're gonna put up some of the last precepts. We're gonna get Psalms chapter 3, verse 8, which is the last verse in book of Psalms chapter 3. We're also gonna put up Ecclesiastes chapter 25. All right, so we know we're gonna be surrounded by tens of thousands of people. Everybody's just joined unto this beast, and that the Lord gonna smite them in order to save us. Well, and that's gonna be what? Thousands and tens of thousands falling all around us. This is verse 8. Arise, O Lord, save me, O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. What's that blessing? That blessing is salvation. Ultimately, how is that salvation gonna come? By the destruction of our enemies. That's why the book of Psalms, Ecclesiastes 25 and 7. There be 9 things which have judged in my heart to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So yeah, that's why David said, salvation belongeth to the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people, that being the house of David. So yeah, that blessing, it being salvation, but the flip side of our salvation is the downfall of our enemies. The tens of thousands that come against us round about. Rather it be this beast and his army, America, NATO, UN troops, military police, even they of our own household. That's going to turn on us for 30 pieces of silver. So all of our enemies, ranging from those of our nation to the other nations, to the wicked himself, Esau Edom, the Lord's going to protect us through it all. Hey, shalom to the brother Ed Flow for the compliment. Hey, the water to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah for allowing me to manifest the lesson that was delivered by the Holy Spirit. Hey, so we broke down Psalms, the 3rd chapter, going on dang near 66 minutes. Hey, because, the Christian read this, think it's just poetry. No, this is prophecy, stuff that's going to actually take place. We just went into some heavy stuff. All that in the book of Psalms, the 3rd chapter, only 8 verses. Hey, so we're going to read it all the way through, and we're going to close out there. Psalms 3 is subtitled, The Security of God's Protection. A psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Lord, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. And we know that many that rise up against us going to be those of our own household. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in God. So when we be hated of all nations, when Esau make us public enemy number 1, when the whole earth is coming up against us, those of our own household gonna come up against us too. They're gonna be like, man, the whole world is turning against them. The Lord ain't about to help them. The Lord can't help them. Well, guess what? We know according to the 3rd verse, but thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory in the lifter up of my head. Hey, so the Lord gonna be our shield. He's gonna lift us up. I cried unto the Lord with my voice, and he heard me cry out of his holy hill. So the Lord is only going to hear the cry of the righteous, those who stand up for him against the workers of iniquity. I laid me down and slept. Meaning we had quiet, we had rest. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. That's all around. Be maintained, to be kept in good condition, to be supported mentally and physically. I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that have set themselves against me round about, and they locked down the cities through martial law, when the beast with his iron teeth, his iron weaponry, his military, UN troops, military police shut down the cities and surround us to make war with those who got the testimony to cut off Israel. We're not going to be afraid. Why? Because Psalms 91:7, thousands going to fall at our left, tens of thousands at our right. But we're going to be preserved. I will not be afraid of tens of thousands of people that set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Lord, save me. Oh my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. So the Lord gonna save us by smiting our enemies. The believers praying for salvation, you praying for the destruction of somebody else. Can't be a salvation without a destruction. Thou hast broken the teeth or the armies, the military of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thy people. That blessing being salvation, but living to see the downfall of our enemies, which ranges from they of our own household to the other nations to the wicked himself. The Lord gonna put them all down. We're gonna see the downfall of all of them. And the Lord is gonna what? He's gonna lift up our head. Meaning what? While everybody else is dropping, we're gonna remain standing. The Lord lifted up our head, going into the chariots. We're gonna literally be lifted up. While our enemies remain on the earth to remain in the lake of fire. All right, so hey, that's it. The water for everybody that tuned in. We're gonna face the east and close out. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Takidah. All right, so next time, Lord willing, Shalom.